And how are you guys doing today? This is Hey Alan, how are you doing? Glad you could join. So I'm just basically doing a test stream as there's a game on. One of my, you know, this is the opening weekend of college football, and so in any minute, my team could be playing the Oregon State Beavers. I'm a fan of them. I've been a fan of them for a long time. So I just wanted to see if I could do like a live stream, watch the game, and just fill you in. I tried a couple of tests with my phone and my camera to see if I can share the see if I could share the game, but unfortunately, I could not do such a thing. And so I also wanted to see, if you guys, or if you're into college football, who's your team? Feel free to make a comment. If you're joining in the live stream, I pinned the link so you can perhaps join. But this is going to be an interesting year for the Pac 12. If you followed college football or if you followed any of the sports or what have you, there's going to be some shakeups in this conference. This is going to be the final year that the 12 teams are going to be together. Arkansas, okay, that's good. And so, again, after this season, there's going to be several teams are going to be joining the Big Ten. Some other teams are going to be joining the Big 12. A couple of teams are going to be joining the ACC. And that leaves two teams from the Pac 12 as the sole surviving teams of that conference that is going to be happening. Of course, my Oregon State Beavers is one of them, as well as the Washington State Cougars. This could be an interesting thing that's going to happen. And I'll tell you, it's going to be. This is all on the leaders of the Pac 12. They did not get a good TV deal. They did not do any promoting any proper TV deals, and so teams like USC and UCLA, they bolted. They didn't want to be part of this deal. I can't remember what it was, but it was not a network TV. It was like a streaming service, like I think it was Apple TV, if I remember right. And so, because of that, USC and UCLA decided to commit to the Big 12, Big 10, I mean, following this season. And then that just set off a chain reaction of other teams. The Washington Huskies are going to join the Big 10. The Oregon Ducks are going to join the Big 10. And then the other teams like Arizona and Arizona State, they're going to be joining the Big 12. So is Colorado and Utah. I believe they're joining the Big 12. And then just recently, it was announced that Cal and Stanford have decided to join the ACC. So, two teams in the Atlantic Coast Conference that are from the Pacific Coast Conference. Well, it's not Pacific Coast Conference, but it's two Pacific Coast teams. So this is, like I said, this is going to be an interesting year for the Pac-12 because once this season is over, these other teams are going to be joining the other conferences. And so it's Oregon State and Washington State are trying to team up together to see if there's anybody that can join the conference, or perhaps they can merge with another conference. And let me see if I can. Let's see, what can I. And just recently, if you've ever been a fan of the Rich Eisen show, let me play this interview that head coach Jonathan Smith was on the Rich Eisen show about a week ago, and he had some interesting things to say about the future of the Pac-12. As soon as they're done with this advertising.
Doing great, Rich. Thanks for having us.
You bet. I just definitely wanted to kick the tires on what's going on there right now, what's going through your mind and the program. But first, I do want to hit the Wayback Machine a little bit with you. And, how did a kid from Pasadena wind up in Corvallis back in the day for you?
Yeah, that is quite a while ago. But it's a little bit, I was down there, I had a high school teammate getting recruited by Oregon State. And through that evaluation, they kind of put eyes on me, invited me to walk on at the time. And I know I wanted to get into coaching, and I felt like that was the highest level I could get to really learn about it. And so got up here with a guy named Mike Riley, was the head coach at the time.
I've heard of him.
And he, promised that I get an opportunity to compete. And a couple of years later, ended up playing and having a great time.
Now, no question about it. What did you glean from Coach Riley and Erickson? You want to talk about guys who you could learn stuff from? You certainly did that.
Yeah, I did a ton. I mean, both of them definitely, personalities are different, ways of doing things are different, but schematically, offense, both of them really, really sharp, learned a ton, and they had some really good coaches around them. My first quarterback coach was Paul Christ, who had a nice run there at Wisconsin, and learned a ton from him, and that was really what I was looking for. So all of those guys impacted my coaching career a ton.
I'm sure. And so when it's all said and done, do you sometimes catch yourself and it's like, oh gosh, I sound like Coach Riley. I sound like Coach Erickson. Anything like that? Do you catch yourself?
Yeah, on occasion. Yeah, on occasion, those guys. I worked for Chris Peterson for a long time. He had a huge influence, and so I sound like him. You're always trying to own your own voice, but those guys again impacted, and I learned a ton. So when I sound like him, I take it with pride.
And I understand as well that the coaching mantra that you can only control what you can control the controllables, however you want to say it, is definitely a default position. But I am wondering how the latest news to come out of the Pac-12 has hit you and your football program. Coach.
Yeah, there's no question that mantra, controlling what we can control. It's not easy to do, but ultimately it is our only option right now. And that's what actually it's been nice. The last 3 weeks going through training camp, preparing for a season, day to day with our players, focused on the task at hand. That's been almost an escape from all of this, and it is ultimately out of our control. We feel good about this team, the roster we have, and the season that's certain in front of us. And then through this uncertainty, once it finally plays itself out and there's some certainty of what it looks like for Oregon State moving forward, then we can, process that and make a plan moving forward.
Well, have you addressed this? Did you call the team together en masse? What have you done with the team on this subject matter?
Well, we addressed it early on in camp, and same thing, controlling what we can control, what we feel really good about, this current roster, the staff, the chance we have this season, and that's our complete focus. So we set the stage early in camp. I think we addressed it one other time about a week ago, and now, potentially breaking news today. Just we anticipated news going to break, but again, it goes back to this mantra of controlling what we can and focused on the task at hand.
And so how do you think the kids have handled it?
I think it's felt great in regards to the practices are normal, focus, meetings, work ethic. And I kind of say it this way: in this day and age of college football with the transfer portal, I think everyone's reevaluating come December, January, their situation, each individual player. Crap, I mean, coaches are doing it, and now schools are doing it. And so I don't see it that different to come December. Everyone's going to reevaluate and sort it all out. We just want to stay focused on these next 4 months.
And so, does it piss you off? I'll just come out and ask you point blank.
Oh, there's moments. There's no question. I get some bitterness. You mentioned it. I grew up in Pasadena. I grew up going to the Rose Bowl and Pac-12 versus Big Ten games. This will be my 17th season in the Pac-12 as a player or a coach. Yeah, I got some deep roots here and really pride of West Coast football and knowing all the schools and all that. So, yeah, I got some bitterness the way this is all played out. Ultimately, I see it's a business side, and currently we're playing musical chairs, and we don't got a chair to sit on.
Well, I'm just wondering as well, do you use this as a rallying cry for the season?
I don't know if I get hammered a ton with our guys. These guys are motivated. They want to win. They want to play well. And just because it's out of our control how this is playing out. Well, the players we're playing against, it's out of their control too. It's not like they made these calls or something. So I don't use it a ton on the motivation side. I think there'll be guys in our locker room that, it might be a huge motivation for them. But as a program, we built this thing to where we got a chance to compete at a really high level. And we're focused on doing that.
Yeah, you do, Jonathan Smith. There's no question that you do. And the reason why I'm not saying like, hey, let's do this, for the Pac-12. I'm saying, hey, heart of hearts, where's Oregon State going to wind up? And, you're hearing about Stanford and Cal Maiden somewhere with the ACC. Maybe the 10 goes and gets them, and you and Washington State might be left without a chair. And if you go and kick ass in the Pac-12 season, the final one, then maybe you can open some eyes and get a home that you might not otherwise have. Coach, is that a fair assessment?
I mean, you'd like to think if we can play really well, and that's back to what we can control. And so that's what we're focused on. We're preparing. We got a non-conference schedule first, and we're locked in on that. And then again, it's out of our control how this thing plays out. But we're playing this season for this current 23, Beaver locker room and coaching staff. And then we'll let the dust settle after that. I've
got Jonathan Smith, Oregon State head football coach, here on the Rich Eisen Show. Speaking of a transfer portal, you've named a new starting quarterback, have you not, Coach?
Yeah, yep, DJ U, as he goes around a lot of
his name is hard to pronounce.
Come on now, hold on a second. You once threw to TJ Houshmandzadeh, which is definitely not a monosyllabic name. Come on now, right? So what do you got? DJ U, right?
DJ Ungulalele.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That ain't easy, man. That ain't easy. But I'm sorry. He's an incredibly talented kid that you have there.
Got here in January, dove into just being a part of the locker room, not trying to be the face of the program right away. I think he's gained a ton of respect from the players on the team. He worked really hard. This offensive system is quite a bit different than what he'd been doing before, and so there was a learning curve all the way through spring ball, and then got into fall camp, and you could see his comfort level getting better and better. And he played well. We had a couple of scrimmages that he played at a high level. I think he's won over this team that way. I do think this was pretty competitive. We got a quarterback room with some talent. Ben Goldbrinson, who he beat out last year, went 7-1 as a starter last year for us and pushed DJ in a big way. And we got a freshman, Aiden Giles, that has a lot of talent, and he's played well. And so we've got some options in the room, but DJ's going to go out there first.
So what has the university told you, Coach, about what's being talked about, the future of the program, and what conference you might wind up in? What are you hearing?
Are you sick of having issues with your webinars, wasting tons of time on troubleshooting with attendees? If so, you need StreamYard On Air. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard.
Okay, Dana.
Yeah, our athletic director, Scott Barnes, I think he's done a
Just
great
I
job
love the
communicating when there's
advertisements in the middle of the
information.
channel.
At the same time,
video.
when there's uncertainty, he's not taking me in deep into the weeds so I can focus on the task at hand. Obviously exploring different options and what options those are. And so that I just leave it in their hands
And we
on
are
in the
starting.
future. And I appreciate the communication, but until we have some definite
Oregon
clarity,
State versus
once
San
we have
Jose
clarity,
State.
I'll feel good about making a plan
And they're
moving
in
forward.
San Jose.
Okay. Do you, at any point in time, when you have a moment alone, maybe driving to work or something, think about how wild it is that you are in a position where you are, and obviously you've been the coach there a while, but at this juncture, to be in this position for such a crucial season for your school after what you did for this school, is there any sense of significance that you have entering this season that stands out to you?
Well,
Coach?
it's significant, yes, with all the movement going on, but it's significant. We're opening up a brand new stadium that we just finished, over $170 million expansion.
Mhm.
The thing is beautiful. It's going to be rocking. We got an awesome home schedule with a lot of perennials coming in here: Utah, UCLA, UW, and so that's significant that way. I don't want our players feeling like this thing is bigger than what it is. We're going to line up and play each week and go, but we're definitely excited about the opportunity that this historical season, if it is the last season of the Pac-12 conference, makes me want to puke to even say that, but if it is, we want to play our best and enjoy it.
Then point out to everybody you took the wrong school, right? Every week you go out there, you could do that with your play, right?
We've got an opportunity to play into that narrative, but I'll just say it again, it is about us and what we're going to do. And there's a lot of people that I think want us to do well, and hopefully we turn into a great national story, but I don't want to add any pressure to this locker room in regards to living up to different expectations. We got our own expectations, and we're locked in on those.
All right, before I let you go, and I appreciate the time, please provide me with your favorite Chad Johnson story. Please give me your favorite one that you can
Well, I'll just
tell
you the first time I met him. He comes from Santa Monica Junior College. He had to pass a class or two, so he arrives like a day or two before we start practicing in August. And he comes up to me and, I think someone introduced him because I was the quarterback, and he introduces himself and he tells me he's going to buy me a Lexus. And I kind of say, what? He's like, yeah, I'm going to buy you a Lexus because you're going to get me to the National Football League. And I'm still waiting on that Lexus.
He told me he was giving me Debo shoes at 15 Pro Bowls ago, and I'm still waiting on them. So he's on brand. So that's what he told you for when he first met you?
Oh, yeah, he's beautiful, man. He great personality, and obviously he was a really good player, had an awesome NFL career, and did a ton for the one season here. But that's the first time I met him.
What did he tell you in a huddle? TJ's probably in your ear too, right?
TJ was huge for him. because TJ was been there a year longer. Chad was still learning the formations and the plays and all that. So TJ was his right hand man, helping him get lined up.
Did Carson Palmer ever call you up and say, how do I deal with these guys? Did that ever happen?
He didn't, man. He probably functioned with them fine and all that. He did not call me for any advice.
I'm just wondering if that had happened. And do you refer to him as Ocho or no? He's always Chad Johnson.
No,
too.
he's Chad. He's Chad to me.
Okay. Coach, thanks for the time. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Best of luck.
Guys.
You bet. That's Jonathan Smith, head coach of the Oregon State Beavers. Catch the Rich Eisen Show.
Okay. So that was a good interview with head coach Jonathan Smith. And let me tell you this, it's like he had two great receivers who both played in the NFL for Cincinnati Bengals. He had Chad Johnson, who changed his name to Chad Ochocinco down. And then he also had TJ Houshmandzadeh, who also had a pretty decent NFL career. And I tell you, when Jonathan Smith was the quarterback for Oregon State that year, that was a great year. They only had one loss. In fact, they were one field goal make away from perhaps going undefeated that year and perhaps playing for the national championship that season. And they played in the Fiesta Bowl against Notre Dame. And a lot of people gave Notre Dame a lot of love. A lot of people thought that Notre Dame would be the one that would beat Oregon State. And that team took it personal. They had an enormous chip on their shoulder, and they had totally annihilated Notre Dame from start to finish. So, and that was their very best year that they had. In fact, I'm going to go see if I can get. Yeah, so right now, currently it's no score. San Jose had the ball first, and Oregon State held them. They didn't give them a 3-and-out. However, they did force them to punt, and so Oregon State will go on offense for the first time. Let me try something here. Just checking something because it's like I do have Paramount Plus on my computer. Okay. And right now we are in commercial. So, and again, that was a great year for the program for Oregon State. And like I said, they were one field goal tie away from perhaps winning against the Washington Huskies. They had already, and however, because of that, Oregon State was able to go to the Fiesta Bowl to play against Notre Dame. I'll share with highlights here, but I'm going to try something here real quick. Let me see if this works. And there he is. So let's see.
Pick up a close to 5 on first down.
And let's see how we got.
So DJU from Inland
his name is
Empire,
DJ
California. And he was
Ukulele.
the
So
top
just
ranked
think of
player
the word
in his class
ukulele.
and had a good record at Clemson.
Well, he is huge. Watching him on the field before the game, his little body looks like he's a D tackle. I mean, he might have the biggest legs of any quarterback I've ever seen.
Listed 252. Martinez, the Pac-12 Offensive Freshman of the Year a season ago, is gobbled up, which sets up a third down.
This is
Take a look
working.
at Oregon State's offense.
They are led by their offensive line, Martinez, in particular the right guard and the right tackle, Talise Fuaga, 13 starts last year. He's an All-American, probably their most gifted offensive line.
I have it
3
muted.
offensive linemen captains. I don't know if I've ever seen that. 3 out of the 5.
Ross, that's our favorite team. The captains all the O-line. 3rd and 5. DJU up the middle, and that's one of the things that they wanted to see on the staff of Oregon State, how he would use his legs once the plays were live and not in camp. And he picks up a first down before he gets hit by Trey Jenkins.
Well, watch the end of this. I don't know if DJ knows how to slide. Tell me he doesn't try to slide right about here, right there. I don't know if he was trying to slide or make a move or what. It was a little bit awkward, but it gets the first down.
DJ Uhuru was a 20th round draft pick of the 23 MLB draft. He hands it off
nice
to Martinez on first down.
No, I'll tell you this. This guy, this running back, Martinez,
gains about 14.
He was great with
Jenkins
this team
and
last year.
Combined on the tackle. But Martinez has it chugging on the ground as San Jose State's defense has Trey Smith filling that void at that rush end. Had a few good ones here with San Jose State.
Well, he had such a game last week against USC. 2.5 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, 4 tackles. They need him to make a bunch of plays against this Oregon State offensive line.
First down, Martinez dances and corralled. Noah Lavallo was right there, as well as Matthew Tonga, who's a former Oregon State Beaver in his own right. Only a gain of 1.
Watch the right side of your screen. Terrific job against the double team. I think that's Lavulo, number 4, just stands up the tight end and sheds. That is beautiful. That's how they teach it on the D-line team. You lock out.
Wonder why they lost today if he left.
Shed him and make the play. That's really well done at the point of attack by Lavulo.
That'd be that NIL rule.
Whistles before second down and timeout call by the defense.
Sorry, timeout. San Jose State.
Coach Brennan and company, timeout on the side of the Spartans, still scoreless in San Jose.
So, okay. Okay, so this is good. This might work. I mean, if this is on Paramount. The reason why I wanted to do this, I just wanted to see how this happens. And it's like, okay. I'm not gonna be able to, perhaps watch my teams throughout the year like this because there's just some things like that are out of my control that I won't be able to. I might be able to watch the game, but I might not live stream it. There's a chance that I could be watching, some of my favorite team, in the NFL, the Seahawks. And I know for one thing, for sure, it's like I won't be able to do this like during the NBA season. I won't be able to do a live broadcast with the Trailblazers. But I just wanted to test this out and see how this was going. I wanted to see if there was any bugs to work out. I think the fact that I have Paramount Plus on my computer installed to share the screen to watch it, I think that's going to help a lot. And let's see. So far, they're still in commercial. But I just wanted to see how this live stream turned out. And it's like, I wanted to do a live stream for a game. And like I said, I'm not going to be able to do this every week because, I don't have cable. I just have my streaming services. I can only watch the games that are on like Paramount Plus, Peacock, and that's pretty much it. So let's go back. Looks like they're back from commercial. Okay, let me unmute that. Okay, they're talking about the Pac-12 service.
By the way, could be an epic year on the field for this conference, but in the future, it's going to look a little different. Pac-12 teams in 2024, you see just Oregon State and Washington State. With all these other teams joining these other conference realignment, not a fun topic necessarily to talk about. Oregon State fans
that's not
that
tough.
they get to
That's
see
not
their
fun.
team on the field and a good team this year.
Yeah, no, that graphic there makes my head hurt, to be honest with you.
Oh, nice run.
30-yard line. Explodes out of the timeout. Chase Williams finally runs them down. Another big gain on the ground for the Beavers.
Well, and all I know about all the realignment stuff is you watch Martinez. He's going to cut this back behind the right tackle on tight end. Awesome job by Velling, 88, the backside tight end, to cut off the defensive end. That's the gap that they won. But the point I would make about Oregon State, they are a Power 5 football program. I mean, they're top 20 in the country. They certainly have proven on the field that they're more than deserving of being in the Power 5.
Bolden on a screen, accelerates. They just hammered in the middle of the field. It has another Oregon State first down.
They have a great
Jordan
offense.
Pollard
They've
failed
always had a
them, but
good
the
offense
Beavers are
under
moving
Jonathan
on their
Smith.
opening drive.
And
The
I
defense was
love
a
when
little
a
shaky in the past, but
335-pound
last year
man
they
gets to
improved.
get out there and show some
And they
athleticism.
beat
Watch
Florida.
this. He fakes the inside run. Watch 75. Go get him, Talise Fuaga.
I can't remember which bowl game they beat Florida in, but they beat
Crumbles
them
the
pretty
corner to his
handily.
knees. That was the block that helped spring Bolden for the big game.
That's the realignment that you like to see, Ross. Realigning the defense. One alignment getting out there. Martinez, who had a monster year a season ago, just 18
let's see if they
yards
can
shy
get
of
a touchdown
1,000
and not a
yards
field goal.
for Damian Martinez. Now the sophomore from just outside of Dallas, freshman of the
And
year,
that
last
was
year
so awesome
offensively
about
in the
this guy. He was
Pac-12.
just a freshman.
Preseason, first team all conference, and he's running behind a vicious offensive line.
Well, he didn't start till the last 5 games. I mean, he had 6 straight 100-yard games, and they thought, oh, we better start him at this point.
Uyunglele over the middle, right at the goal line.
Ooh, nice
Not
catch.
ruled in, but another first down coming up is Irish. Caught it right between the numbers, and it sets up first and goal.
They're going quick on the ball here. This is probably either a quarterback sneak or a quick handoff. It's an automatic check.
Uyunglele under center. Tries to get that.
Ooh, did he
push
get
from
in?
behind, and he stood up short.
He's close. He's at the goal line. So
Anytime a team gets near the goal line
see if they
and
can
you
run
see
that
them
play
go
again.
hurry up on the ball, there's really only 2 plays they ever run. It's quarterback sneak or it's inside zone, one way or the other. Uyunglele wanted to try to prove that they could get in right there. Nice job by San Jose State. Brian Lindgren, that's not a called play by Brian Lindgren. That's something that DJ did on his own.
Second and goal. And Fenwick.
there it is.
Fenwick with a big rugby-style pile. And he is
I thought he
short.
got in.
So 2 trips at the 1, 2 stops. Ryan Parham gets credit for that stop.
Tip of the cap to San Jose State's defense right there. Back-to-back plays trying to make
man,
a
they
goal
did
line
well
stand here against
had
one of
it-
the
I had
best
it clipped
rushing
there.
teams and best offensive lines in all of college football. Now Oregon State's going to go out of the gun. That is a win for San Jose State, even just putting them in this position.
They should line them up.
Rule next to him. Third and goal.
There we go.
DJ
There we
Hill,
go.
250
There we go.
pounds. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Oregon State touchdown. There is a flag.
Uh-oh.
Offside. Defense, number 2. And the neutrals are off the snap. That penalty is declined. Result to play is a touchdown.
He had 15 rushing touchdowns as a member of Clemson. His first rushing score in a different shade of orange.
Well, it's just a power. Everybody on the right side blocks down. Bloomfield comes around, and that was extremely well blocked.
that was
DJ
easy.
didn't really even have to
That
do
was
very
easy.
much
That was
there,
awesome.
but it is one heck of a weapon to have a 255-pound quarterback.
Sappington's extra point counted. Oregon State's first drive couldn't have been much more smooth. Transferred over 2,700 miles from Clemson to
So their opening drive, they get a touchdown. So how awesome is that? So. Okay. So looking at this, it's like, okay, this is like I said earlier, I just wanted to do a sample here, see how this holds up, and it looks like it's working so far. So like I said, I might do some more live streams down the road as the football season's going, and we'll just go from there. And like I said, I'm not going to be able to do every week. I'm not going to do every game. But I might do a sample here and there. And so one thing I will be able to do is I'll be able to, like I said, it's like this is on Paramount Plus, which is owned by CBS. I can also do Peacock, which runs NBC. Those are pretty much the only two streaming services that I can perhaps do these live streams based upon. Let me know as I go about this. I know that don't know if I can do Amazon Prime because we do have Amazon Prime and they do Thursday night footballs or game of the week on Thursday nights. But I can also, this Thursday, however, is going to be the NFL football on Peacock or on NBC, which is going to be the Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs against the Detroit Lions. Let me know if I should do a sample live stream on that because on my computer I have Paramount Plus installed as an app for my laptop. I do have Peacock on my website bookmarked, so I could perhaps do a live stream share with that as well. And so that's just something I just wanted to work on and see if this if this was gonna work out. And looks like it looks like it is. So now San Jose State now has the ball. So let me go to that. Let's share that. See how their defense can do. Oops, sets up a screen. Uh-oh. So they got a first down. So, and just a heads up, I do have this muted right now. I can unmute this. Let me.
Corey Stover for a big game for the Spartans.
Play action to Conley. Cordero deep drop, escapes the initial rush, escapes again, but finally brought down. He does pick up positive yards on the play.
Thank you, Rod. I appreciate that.
Ankles, but the slipperiness
yeah,
of
I think it is.
There.
So, again, this is just something I wanted to test.
What he did last year, his first year with San Jose State. Now, he played against San Jose State a couple of times when he was a member of Hawaii, and the Spartan staff was always impressed whenever they went head-to-head.
Now, I wasn't able to share this earlier, but these two teams have met in the past. A total of 6 times. Oregon State has a 5-1 advantage over them. And so we'll see if they can continue their dominance of this team.
It's the finish there. Oh my gosh, running right through the face of Achille Arnold. Sometimes that happens, but what a cut. And then runs right through him.
Oh, wow.
Very impressive by Conley. Second week in a row, he's making the most out of his opportunity.
Over 100 yards on the ground against USC in week 0. Nash
He's going to throw it.
He's a former quarterback looking for Cordero, who knocks it away, plays defensive back. Rawls was out there running with Cordero with the trick play. And Ross, you talked to me before the game about San Jose State was going to empty the bag today.
Well, here he comes Nash. He's a former quarterback. You could tell right away he was going to throw it. I can't believe Rawls, the D tackle, is in coverage there. I mean, kudos to Rawls. He's a D tackle running stride for stride with the quarterback. I don't know how he even saw that or identified that. I'm not sure if that's what Trent Bray wants him to do, but man, it worked out.
2nd and 10. Down at the 35. So a 3rd and long coming up for San Jose State. But hey, you mentioned it for the Spartans. Hey, you're on a Sunday national stage, your home opener, a lot of excitement surrounding what you did last year. Why not capitalize with emptying the bag?
Looks like that.
And to make every day
you gotta love one of these hard
than the last.
companies
So
do
you
that.
can get more in before the sun goes down. Make
You just gotta love it when the network just kind of buffers and then they go to a commercial while they're playing. But good. I'm glad this is working out. So just like I said, I'm not going to guarantee that I'm going to do this every week. Like I said, it's nice that Oregon State's playing on the CBS on Paramount Plus, so that I can stream it and watch it. And okay, yep. But I'm gonna, let's see. I'm gonna share with you guys the highlights. The 2001 Fiesta Bowl with Oregon State, with their head coach Jonathan Smith as their quarterback. If the internet stops buffering.
Nuevo Advil Dual Action Back Pain. Combate el dolor.
Okay. I don't have back pain, but I do have sciatic pain. Oh, come on.
Weapon, Simonton nearly broke it.
let's restart that. So
All receivers in the first half. They go back to their biggest weapon. Simonton nearly broken.
that guy was good too, Ken Simonton.
35-yard line before Shane Walton made the tackle. Walton just back in action, playing with a broken right forearm.
On the close.
Look out, he gets hit from behind again. A flag thrown. That's a live football. Darnell Robinson knocked the ball out. Oregon State has recovered, but there was a flag thrown by the referee, John Smith. Eric Manning came up with the loose football after Robinson knocked it out.
Sean, we talked about the fewest ever by Notre Dame turnovers to games with 8 turnovers in 11 games.
There's a fumble on the play. First down, LSU.
And I mentioned at the outset, the one way on defense that you can cause a team to have turnovers is get into their backfield where the ball is handled between the quarterback when he's going to throw it or handing it off. Great job by Oregon State. Notre Dame does not turn that thing over, but a big hit makes them turn over deep in their own territory.
Here are the numbers, the record turnover numbers for Bob Davie. They committed 30 turnovers last season when they went 5-7. Late to the Boston game in practice time. Second and 7. Smith with a lot of time. Going toward the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Pushmanzada.
See?
And now a flag thrown in the end zone after the play. There was another of those reserve defensive backs, Jason Beckman. Second and 5. Bad pitch to Jones. And he's on it, but way back at the 23-yard line. And for the team that made history for not turning it over, they've been very sloppy with the ball here in the opening moments of the second half. And we talked about going away from the triple option when Arnez Battle was injured in the second game of the year. One of the reasons why the fumbles are way down this year. They went back to that option.
Okay, I wish this when showing
could not have done a better job.
Replays. This did not need. They did not need to show this.
Who started because Tavita Muala, the guy who was supposed to start, hurt his knee during spring ball. They put in this 210-pound freshman, crossed their fingers, and he became a freshman All-American.
Out of the shotgun, an empty backfield. 4-man rush. They set up a screen to David Gibbons. They got nowhere near the first down marker. He was chopped out at the 31, 15 yards short of the first down. Richard Siegler made the tackle on Gibbons, the junior from Humboldt, Texas.
And people who remember Dennis Erickson when he was at Miami, Dennis said that this defense has almost as much speed as the best defenses he had at Miami, and you're starting to see that take over this game.
And that's a big statement because those defenses might have been as fast collectively as any in the history of college football.
Now, why are they showing highlights like this? This is what I don't like.
Pushmanzada from the 28, straight ahead, bounced off one of his teammates, and the ball came out. They're not blowing the play dead yet. If it stands, it's a touchdown for Terrell Roberts. And they're not going to blow it dead. That's a touchdown for Terrell Roberts.
Now, let's hope they show the replay on this.
So many uncharacteristic aspects now for Notre Dame. The turnover, and now a major catastrophe on special teams.
And Pushmanzada fumbled the ball earlier with Rocky Boyman, who caused that fumble as well. Rocky Boyman pulled the ball out twice, and the ball is bouncing. The luck of the Beavers is alive in Tempe, Arizona.
Officials, despite all those flags against them, Johnson's touchdown stood even when he dropped the ball on the 2-yard line, and now that play should be down, but it wasn't called. The 2-point play good. Robert Prescott on the receiving end of the pass from Smith.
This was such a great team. And like I said earlier, had they have made a game-tying field goal against Washington, who knows what would have happened.
And that pass is picked off by Darnell Robinson.
We just saw him get drenched.
But check that out. That was how big they beat Notre Dame that year. And Notre Dame was a top 5 school during that season. And the fact that they took Notre Dame to the woodshed like that, people did not give Oregon State any credit or any chance of competing in this game. Many people thought that they should not be in the BCS games because of Washington went to the Rose Bowl. That meant Oregon State was an at-large team, and so they were making sure that they wanted Oregon State to be in the back then when it was called the Bowl Championship Series. So again, let's see. So yeah, those were. I thought they'd show some better highlights because it's like there was they did not. This channel did not put out any good touchdown highlights, but that's okay. I mean, it's just I just wanted to share what happened when Jonathan Smith was their quarterback back in 2001. Okay, and looks like they are in the second quarter right now. So let's see. I don't know. Should I do this the whole time? So it appears that San Jose had when I broke away and shared the highlights of that Fiesta Bowl with Oregon State and Notre Dame, looks like San Jose gave up the ball, they punted, and now Oregon State had just punted the ball themselves. So looks like the start of the quarters, San Jose State has the ball. And so let's see if the Beaver defense can hold these guys at least without a touchdown. But I just wanted to, like I said, I wanted to see how this worked out, and looks like it's working. So now I don't know if I'll be able to share like with Oregon State playing. I don't think I'll be able to. This might be the only game that I can share. Like I said, I only use Peacock and Paramount because I don't have cable. We've been without cable for years. It's like, for us, streaming services is the best. I just wish that there could be a streaming service with that would have the ABC networks or the Fox networks. And I tried their apps, and their apps did not work. And because there's still a catch with those, it's like if you're like with Fox Sports, you have to sign in to a provider and blah blah blah. And I believe same thing with ABC. You can't really watch. Now the only way I could maybe watch any college games on ABC is if I watch it through Hulu. Well, they say Hulu has live sports. I mean, we have Hulu, but we're paying with the ads, and they don't show live TV unless you upgrade. And right now, I'm not in a position to where we're not in a position to where we can upgrade to a better package. So, but yeah, you could watch games on Hulu. So, again, I just going through here. Right now, there's no change. So, anyways. Let me see. But yeah, again, I just wanted to share this, and I don't know. Do you think I should still be playing this, or perhaps do some other things? All right, let's see where we're at. Let me see if I can. So right now, San Jose State still has the ball. Looks like they're about just past the 30-yard line of Oregon State. Oh, but there's pressure. Oh, come on, get him. Oh, he got away. They had him. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, but there's a penalty. Let's see. It all depends on if it's on the offense or defense. Illegal block in the back. Okay. Okay. All right, let's share this. Let's see what they do. But it was a spot foul penalty because he was down on they did have him down on the 10-yard line. And they're like on the 20-yard line now. So just hold them to at least a field goal, guys. Their run defense is pretty good. It's their pass defense that is really shaking. They have a very good run defense. Okay. Oh, another penalty. And let's see, what are 3rd and 13. So let's don't bend but don't break, guys. Nope, no flag. All right. So at least they're holding them to a field goal attempt, or at least what appears to be a field goal attempt. And just heads up, I do have this game muted right now. And nope, that's not a pass interference. So the least they can get is 3 points. So Oregon State's defense, like I said, there are a little vulnerable against the pass, but they do have a bend but don't break mentality. So as long as they can keep their opponent out of the end zone, this could be a good game for Oregon State to start off their first game of the season of the Pac-12. And CBS being CBS, every time there's a timeout, they like to do all these commercials. You just gotta love how CBS does things. If you've ever watched like an NCAA basketball game, and when they have a timeout called, even if it's just a quick 30-second timeout, they still go to commercial. Yeah. But it looks like the best thing Oregon State, or best thing San Jose State can do on that drive is at least get a field goal. So anyways, I'm actually glad that this is working out. So just wanted to see how things were panning out. I honestly, I don't know if I'm going to do the whole game or not. There's one thing, I got to get myself some lunch because it's 1:30 Pacific time. But I just wanted to see how this all worked out. So, and I'm glad it is. I'm glad it is. So, and for those of you in the live stream, if you're into college football, who's your favorite college football team? Who's your hometown team that you'd like to root for? I did see Alan Copeland earlier saying that he was a fan of Arkansas, the Razorbacks. And that's good. Thanks, Rosreels. That's wonderful to know, because it's like, again, I just was uncertain about whether or not I to do some live live reactions of footballs, and it doesn't have to be just my teams that I root for, with Oregon State and with Seattle in the NFL. Rosreal says my home team is probably Tennessee now. So, okay. No problem. It seems that you guys have a good football program too this year. And the SEC is always a power football conference. Let me see. Let me go. Still commercial. Oh, that's your neck of the woods there, Padawannabe? Okay. That's good. Or is it Oregon that's your neck of the woods? But glad you could join, Padawannabe, because like I said, I was just wanting to see how this okay, go Vols. Okay, there you go. Okay. Yeah, and I'll do my go Bees. Nashville, okay. Here in the capital of that jersey you got on. Okay. Because this is an Oregon State jersey, so I've had this jersey, gosh, at least 10 years, I'd say. This is number 8. This was worn by one of the Rogers brothers. I can't remember what. It wasn't Jaquiz. It was James Rogers. My first online name was Beaver Duck Roby. Okay, that's good. Okay, hey, and like I said, in a previous live stream, I wanted to change my name from Nova Vaughn to something that identified me, who I am. I mean, I wasn't able to put Oregon State Beavers into my YouTube name, but the 2 teams that I follow religiously are the Portland Trailblazers and the Seattle Seahawks. So that's why I called myself Blazer Hawk, Darren. And let's see. And it looks like, okay, San Jose got the field goal. Oregon State's got the ball. Looks like they're at midfield now. So let me share this. Let's share this. So first things first, I'm going to
Martinez has the Oregon State first down. So why is the Mountain West positioned in a way that would be appealing to other teams?
In addition to a statement that our presidents, got behind a couple weeks ago about how we are united and solid, we have a really great national television package. Thank you, CBS and Fox. But also, we have a chance to go to market in a couple of years as our media rights renegotiation will come up in 3. So we're optimistic that we'll be well positioned for that.
First down for Uiagalelei. A lot of time, escapes to the near side and is chased to the sidelines inside the 40-yard line. Well, I'll be tuning in to all the social media updates. I know it's hard to figure out what's real and what's not, but I'm sure you have a lot to do in the near future. Looking forward to seeing what the Mountain West has in store in the next few months.
Well, thank you both for being here and appreciate all you do for us.
All right, go. New Mountain West Commissioner, Gloria Navarez.
So they're trying to see if they can get Oregon State and Washington State into the Mountain West.
One of the 2 remaining teams left in the Pac-12, San Jose State in the Mountain West. Second down, Martinez meets a pile of yellow or gold jerseys. And it's third down coming up. It is a volatile time.
I'm going with yellow, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't think that's gold. I think that's yellow. And it's hot here. And all I can think about is how much I would love a frozen lemonade right now. My daughters love those frozen lemonade Italian ices. I would love that. As you see Derek Odom, whose unit is doing a pretty good
How about a
job.
Mike's Hard Lemonade?
This is also likely 4-down territory. Interesting they're going with an empty set. Should they use DJ's legs again in this situation?
San Jose State comes with a blitz. Out pattern, bobbled and secured.
Oh, he
Damian
caught it.
Martinez, who was out wide. Matthew Tongo knocked him out of bounds. First down, Oregon State's.
Watch the end of this play. Good patience there by DJ in the pocket. He has been extremely well protected so far in this first half. San Jose State and the D coordinator we just showed, Derek Odom, they have to find a way to get some type of pressure in the backfield to get him out of rhythm.
Uiagalelei off play action. Martinez.
Okay, thank you, Rods Reels. That's appreciate you joining.
It's inside the 20 for another
Take care.
down.
So I think this is going to work out.
Doing here, Chris, in the sense that they're running these play action passes. They're looking to get big chunk plays and going down the field. He doesn't like some.
As long as they have good internet.
Oregon State, one of 5 ranked teams in the Pac-12 to begin the year. A low throw, Silas Bolden off the turf.
So when you talk about some of the pros and cons of DJ, this is one of the cons, right? I mean, that's a poor throw. That should be an automatic completion there that he's just off target on.
He almost looked like it was a jaw.
He's had a pretty nice first half, but you still see
Almost
some
looks like
of
it hit
the
the carpet
things
first.
that were issues at Clemson in terms of holding on to the ball, probably longer than he should, and some of the accuracy issues at times. But Jonathan Smith couldn't say enough about him, the way he's come in and played.
And he and offensive coordinator Brian Lindgren both mentioned he puts a lot of pressure on himself. As Deshaun Fenwick dances to the outside.
And he's a good running back, too. I mean, he was their number one running back last year, Fenwick.
Puts a lot of pressure on himself.
But Martinez was so good that he won the job. So they've got a great running back combo between Martinez and Deshaun Fenwick.
Nowadays, you almost assume if you're in that position that you're going to be an NFL first-round pick. A bunch of the other guys have been already. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. So, of course, he puts pressure on himself to perform well. He's expecting to make a living doing this.
I wish the internet would stop buffering.
Ooh,
nice. There we go.
Tight end for an Oregon State touchdown.
Velling was wide open in the slot to the right. San Jose State's running a zone coverage, and that's a busted coverage. That's not okay. I mean, he's absolutely wide open. The Beavers love Velling's ability to find space. You get a knack for it, but there is no coverage where you just let the tight end run right down the middle of the field unencumbered.
Cheer! Uiagalelei, 14 yards to Jack Velling. Tight end. Touchdown for Oregon State.
So 14-3, Oregon State.
You know what, a melty grilled cheese sounds so good, but so does a bacon burger with creamy peppercorn ranch. And you couldn't possibly choose because brain don't work too good when tummy empty.
So this is good to know. So this gives me lots of options down the road. I think I gotta look at where they are on the game clock for halftime. But I think this is going to work out well. I don't know if I'm going to do the whole game, to be honest. I don't know if I'll have enough time to do things, but maybe go through the first half. We'll see how things. And one of the other things I was going to look into doing for my channel was to do like a live stream recap of the games of my teams, like how Oregon State did. Whether they won or lost, Same thing with the Seahawks, and then when the NBA season comes up, the Portland Trailblazers. Now, that's the other thing, too. I won't be able to watch anything from the Portland Trailblazers because they have their own cable network. And like I said, I don't have cable. I can watch it on these other live streams, but I don't think I'd be able to share it because sometimes if you watch it on these so-called free live streams, sometimes it goes away, and sometimes you have to find another link. And so I'm not gonna mess around with that, but I'll be doing, perhaps if I'm able to do a recap of the game, because there are some what's called SB Nation. If you're like for Oregon State, if they call it building the dam. If you're like the Blazers, they call it the Blazers Edge. The Seattle Seahawks, they call them the Field Gulls, GULLS, and they give you recaps of the games that went out, that happened. So like I said, it's like with see if I'm signed in. So let's see right now. Okay, haven't seen the. I think it's 4 minutes left until halftime. So this is I think what I might do, I might end the stream at halftime and just take a break, and perhaps maybe when halftime is over, maybe do another live stream. But let me pull the game up. I've got it muted, so. So just under 4 minutes. They must have had a penalty. Well, this is what I think about that. Let's see.
Bad call! Bad call!
Ooh, nice stop. So yeah, let's just watch this until halftime, and then I might just end the stream here. And that's the other thing too, is if I do live streams, if there's like a game that's going to happen, The Wi-Fi could be down. What? Where? I didn't see any. He was within 5 yards.
Bad call.
Yeah, bad call. That was within 5 yards. You're allowed to touch your receive. You're allowed to block the receiver within 5 yards. Oh, come on. Oh, fumble. Oh, man. If only they could have capitalized it before it went out of bounds. Yeah. Good stop. Nice open field tackle. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep it muted here. But that was a good open field tackle. Ooh, and that, unless that's an incomplete pass, that should be an incomplete pass. Surprised they didn't throw a flag there. Oh, great. Come on. And we are, once again, CBS being CBS. So I'm glad this is working out. Like I said, I might just have to. I want to at least see how this worked out, and that actually is pretty good. But let's see. So they're still in commercial. They're going to share highlights. Okay, so there's 2 minutes left. Oregon State's got the ball. Let me share this here real quick. Wait, rule change. Clock will continue to run when offense gains first down. except with less than 2 minutes in the second and fourth quarter. Okay, yeah, I kind of like that rule because we need to keep the game going. So let me share this.
And to clarify, it will stop initially to give time to reset the chains. Uyunglele showing off the arm strength as Anthony Gould.
That's a good throw.
That he caught that ball with his knee on the ground. He had a lot more space. Uyunglele taps his chest and says, "My bad on that."
Oregon State going right on the football here. They're not messing around.
19-yard pickup.
Ooh, yeah, if he had not long done. There you go.
Martinez turns on the Jets and is bumped out of bounds by the 15. Trey Jenkins nudged him out, but it's 1st and 10 Oregon State.
And Martinez went right down to the ground. Nice job again following the block of Fuaga, but Martinez went right down to the ground, tapped his helmet, and started stretching out his calves. And they're not going to allow action to go with him right there. And that makes sense, right? If somebody runs over to that sideline, you don't want a tackle to land on top of Martinez. First game, he's had a big first half. It's hot here as they stretch and massage the left calf of Damian Martinez.
So Martinez, key member for this Oregon State team. Step aside, be back in 30 seconds from San Jose.
What do we always say, son? Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
They only pay for.
So anyway, so like I said, this running back, like I said, he was so good. He was able to beat out their top running back from last year. With Deshaun Fenwick, he was a great running back. But Damian Martinez was doing so good as a freshman. He just kept going, and they decided to make him the number one running back. So their running back is a great group of guys. But I'm so glad this is working out. I am so glad. So this gives me so many options as to what I can do. So dude, it's already got 91 yards.
They were stretching out his calf. Just heard from the team doctors. They said it's cramping.
All right. All the things that can be, perhaps good news on the side of Oregon State.
Well, what's interesting here for Oregon State, they no longer need to be in a hurry, right? I mean, 1:38 with 2 timeouts left. Ideally, they would take enough time off the clock so that San Jose State doesn't have a really good opportunity.
Fenwick gets the pitch and knocked out by Paul.
And like I said,
clock continues to move.
Fenwick was their number one running back last year, and he got overtaken by Martinez.
For Fenwick, that's the D tackle. Hodgins, that's a new look. Well, let's see if he got somebody. Hodgins leading like his dad used to in the NFL. Yeah, he ran some interference there. It's not going to be on the highlight video, but he got a piece of Pollard. Pollard didn't make the tackle.
Mentioned his dad, James, was a fullback, NFL for 8 years. He played at San Jose State. So maybe a little family conflict. But
really good job here by Oregon State to run clock, by the way. So smart.
2nd and 4.
There we go.
Remember, Fenwick on the ground had 107 yards
he hits
in
for
the win when Martinez left early against Florida. Well, it really doesn't matter at a certain point when you have an offensive line that's that dominant. that can be.
Well, Fenwick, it's funny in college football how many programs.
I just had mute for a little
really
bit because my wife was on the phone and she was bringing some stuff
the depth. You think of Michigan and
near.
State and a bunch of out there.
So don't be surprised if I mute every now and then.
To run clock like this, they still have 2 timeouts. They're fine.
Fenwick slithers through. Tries to stretch it near the goal line. Of course, Oregon State wants a touchdown. He's short. 20 seconds left. Hear those whistles for a
Let's see if they call timeout.
Second charge timeout.
Yep. Okay, that's good.
This is really perfect by Jonathan Smith to get them in this position where they're on the 1-yard line, but they're milking the clock as well.
Now I'm gonna try something here because it's like, so instead of switching to my screen, see if I can mute the audio on there. I have to find out if that's. So I don't see anybody in the chat right now, so I just wanted to see if what I was doing here, if you can hear the commercial or if I muted it. I guess I'll have to check it on the replay here in a minute. Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to end the live stream here at halftime. I might restream this the second half. So I'm so glad this is working.
Oregon State on the doorstep trying to increase their lead. Coming up on the Geico halftime report, Adam, Rick, BJ, they'll break down the first half, put a bow on what was a busy and fun weekend of college football. That's coming up. The Geico halftime report.
So Oregon State still has another timeout, so there's no problem here with them running it on second down. Even if they don't get it, they can use another timeout. And I would suspect that's what they do. This is either DJ with the sneak or give it to Fenwick to finish it off.
There's the sneak.
There it is. Yes.
I mean, I can signal touchdown from up here.
I'm waiting on the call.
It's not even close. He scored easily.
Ross had touchdown about 4 seconds before the officials.
I think I had touchdown.
Touchdown!
Before the play, actually. I mean, if your quarterback is 6'5", 260 pounds, studies show this is probably a pretty good play. Look at his legs.
This is a good drive.
How powerful his lower body is.
Nice score before halftime.
Six plays, 64 here. All right, saw it there. It just took 1:46. A lot of it on the ground. Great job getting yards, using the clock. Sappington's extra point goes through. 21-3 Oregon State.
This is Oregon State football. Look at the gray jerseys just knocking the yellow into the end zone. Maybe Martinez loves it.
So
a lot of intrigue on how this guy, DJ Uiagalelei, would do in his Oregon State debut after 3 years at Clemson. So far,
again, I'm just gonna have to remember ukulele. So ukulele.
Zoe Saldana, Morgan Freeman, Nicole Kidman,
that is a hard name to
Taylor
pronounce.
Sheridan's new spy thriller, Special Ops Linus. All episodes are now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus and at ParamountPlus.com to try it free.
You had me there at Morgan Freeman and Nicole Kidman. Chris, you kidding me?
You're locked in.
I want to hear Morgan Freeman call a football game.
That would be epic.
And that's the first down.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll send you to Adam Zucker and company in our New York studio. We have the Geico halftime report right after these messages. Oregon State leading at the half.
New Big Brother tonight on.
I can't remember if I couldn't tell if the clock said it was halftime or not. So let's. Okay, so let's see.
Thanks for getting your slobber on it.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and. So I'm so glad that worked out. So this gives me hope for more things to do for my channel. I'm grateful. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you guys for those of you who did join in the chat. Alan Copeland, Rod's Reels, Padawannabe. You guys, I appreciate that. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. And maybe, just maybe, I might do the second half here. But I got to get some lunch. So this is Blazerhawk Darren reminding you that no matter how high you may soar, always stay grounded.